Hello everybody and welcome to part 2 of the Lister Star repair. I'm Simon and welcome to Oakside Saddlery. Okay, part 1 then we looked at what had been demolished and destroyed on these. All I can think of here is that someone has drilled this. Apparently they was tried to be repaired by somebody else. Don't know who, don't really care, but whoever they was, I don't know why they did what they did. So there was drill marks here. Let's put this casing back together again. Now it sort of fits a bit. There's drill holes here, and these drill holes is where the switch is, and when you look under the switch there's a drill hole directly there in the switch. So these circuit boards are they're about £60 thereabouts, but all that's wrong with it, I have tested it, I've had a little look at it, so that's what we'll have a look at. All it appears to be wrong is that switch. So I'm going to take the cables off and we'll see what else we can get. I've got plenty of bits of Lister Star because they are very prone to having motor problems, and usually it's not worthwhile replacing a motor. They're so expensive that it's just as cheap to buy a set of clippers which come with a warranty and everything else. That casing is going to need to be replaced. I have got spare casings. That bit crack come through well, didn't it? I've got spare casings again because the motors tend to go out, so we'll dump that over the side. So let's have a look at this. So we can see here where they've drilled in, and that drill's gone right into the switch. It's pushed the switch apart and it doesn't work at all. But I did test this, so we'll have a little go. We've got to test it. It's only a multimeter, nothing complicated. Untangle the wires a bit. Multimeter is just quite a common thing. All I'm going to do is switch it straight the way around if it's on buzzery noise. Don't know if you can hear a buzzer, but you should hear a buzzer, and that should go down to 0-ish to say it's working. So that switch is jammed in. So between the live wire and the thermofuse should be live. So that's working. Thermofuse across. Oh, hang on. Thermofuse, let's try and get the rings in it. It's not doing anything because it's going through the switch. So the switch is messing itself about. If I test thermofuse, across the thermofuse, I should still not get anything. So we've got nothing there. If I try and get this switch to work, which sometimes I can and sometimes I can't, go live wire to the motor. I have got a read in there, so there is something coming through. So it does look like just the switch has gone wrong. Luckily, I have an old circuit board which had a problem with it, hence the reason there's no thermofuse on the back of it, but it has got a switch. So we'll just check to see if that switch works. So this is easy to check. All I'm going to run is between that point there and this point here. Should have nothing. If I press it, so all I'm doing is pressing it against the workbench there. I have got power into that, so that switch is definitely working. So what I might try is removing that switch off of there, because they're both exactly the same. This one off of here and switch them around and see just what that does. So I shouldn't have to do a lot of this. I might have to take that out. They're always a bit of a pain. Might have to take that out and see what I get. So let's have a quick look at that. I'll reset this and sort it out and put it somewhere else. Okay, so the first thing we're going to look at doing, I'm going to try and remove that switch from this circuit board. So I just need to heat these two up. So soldering iron's just kicked in. I've got like a chisel-y type point on the end of it because I want it quite wide. Oh no, I haven't got a roundish point, a quite wide one. I'm just going to heat through and see what it does. Because sometimes these older ones, when they're like this, just do not want to come apart. It doesn't help as well that I've got to do two at the same time. So I'm putting a little bit of leverage to the back of it. That's actually gone a bit soft, so it might come out. So I've got the front one. Solder there, I can feel a bit of movement. A bit of the back one again. A bit more movement. Front one again. A little bit more movement. So we're not getting too good on that. It's not coming out as far as I'd like. I don't think it's glued. I can't see any other fittings on it. Just try a little bit of solder remover. So solder suckers, I think these are called. I don't know. Just push them down and the last little bit of solder comes out and they draw the solder away. So we might be able to see a bit better. So we'll see what's going on. As with most things, you run out of hands. some out of there. A little bit more out of there. You can tell you get it out when you get bits of solder drop out like that. Where are we now? We've still got solder on the other side of this as well, look, in there. It's probably going to be a nice, there it goes. So that one's coming free. Let's try the other end. We'll just heat it up again until it starts to melt. Set the solder up. Gear it up. Draw some of it out. Again, if we push it, we can see what we've got. There's a big block there, look. You might have got most of that, to be honest. It's coming free. It's getting hot because I can feel it burning my fingers on the other side. So I think the back is free. Still caught on this bit here. So that one's coming out. That one's good. Just throw that over there. Don't really need it. Now let's try this front one. This is a bit harder to get to because I can't get underneath it. I'm onto the other side. I've still got hold of it at the back there. There it goes. So there's our switch. Let's get rid of this old nine before I go and grab hold of it and burn myself. So these are probably cut down. I'm going to remove all the solder off of this and redo them. So let's have a little quick test again. Where's my thingy? So all the way around onto Buzzy's side because that's I'm not interested in how much. I just want it to work. That works. Hold it on there. Got nothing. If I hold it on there, that's still warm. Hold it on there and press the button in. Lots of fingers together. And then we've got a circuit. So that's good, that switch works. Get rid of that. Switch it back off again because the batteries run flat otherwise. So that one works. Let's get a quick swipe over all of this. Didn't just brush it on the floor. This bit here, don't really need that anymore, so we'll dump that over there. So this one here, to get the switch out of the back of this is going to be a bit harder because we've got a lot more bits in the way. So we need to get this off. So it's got the electrical tape around it. I'm going to try and save that if I can, or if I can get it off without taking it apart. So one goes through there, that's a permanent pin. The other one's under that switch, which is a bit more annoying, so that's under there somewhere. I don't think I can lever that back enough to get underneath it because we know for well there's one there. So I'm going to have to remove this one here. This is going to take me a little bit longer, a little bit more of a faff. So let's see what we can get. We're going to take that tape off first. So these are not soldered on, these are there, so I'm going to do them really hard. I'm not hard to get off. And then what I'm going to do is that switch under there. Now I'm going to take this back, I'm going to leave that. See if it comes off. It doesn't. So I've got to move this one here and this pin here. Let's get it up. It is on this side. Oh, I got down with that. There we go. We'll find out these are MIT hook, where you can get out without damaging the circuit or damage the circuit, or put a high damage here, see what happens. Move the switch, okay, to there, get this. So those funny, see how it doesn't melt. That's a hell of a lot of heat on there, trying to get that to melt. Commercial solder's worth, but all that. Works on there. Didn't get up. Right, back in there. Maybe we can. This one's going to part the whole bit. It's not really very easy to solder on too. It's still on point. Switch is still solid. They are still solid. I'll prise them off the edge there, that's what we're doing. See what that's connected to. Or back on there, see if they're folding up off match. Right there. This is just a blank hole bit, so it's loose. Right, that's off. Show you that out there now. We're getting the second part there. So we're going to circuit we want. That's what I'm going to say. You know, but don't want to bend. But I might say it. So there's one more goes through here. Comes out there. So I'm not sure what side's going to be the side of that. I'm going to have one side on there. That's that one out. Easy now, put it on there. I might put that to the side. So here, see if I can get that removed. And ease out. What that's actually, goes right through that switch on the other side. Not on here. You see, I've got breaking for that. I've got a figure all the way through into that switch on the outside. So it's right, just see what we get. Break it, and I'll figure out. We've got access to it now. The easiest, we'll get access, but it's definitely better than it was. So, reversible we have to do on there. So I'm heat up on this just as well. Again, just like last time, but ladies and ladies to melt. Probably, yeah, the top of the belt still there. So that was the same as the last one was. Just the manufacturer's side. On this end, just going to keep it off on it, keep moving. And then. Hey, listen to it, and then back again. Like that. That's all. So, I'll switch loose. Press what you're doing. Almost missed out. But it's good. Open the actor again. I don't know why I don't want these parts. So I'm going to this. Remove some of the bits all at the end. Just taking it up. There you go. Okay. Remove it. Don't want. Like that. Even like that. Well, that's a bit of as well. So, it's not too bad. That fits it this way. So I've got really bit more solder out there because I don't get the holes in there. Fix that. Where's the issue with old technology? Look at the solder, it's not fucking it. One, not properly. Then you've got brand new circuit board, you'll nice and shiny and fresh toe. Like that. All fresh toe. Whereas the old ones, like that. If you try and move everything in there. That's it. Right, extra stuff. Open hands here, it's quite handy. You can hold things up in the air. I want. Get that underneath. It's the nose. I'll say it. We now should be able to get our stitch back in position. Right. Oh, sorry, I just realised I took that off camera then. So I've pushed that back in there. So the switch is all in place now, just needs a solder. So we're going to try and keep that out of the way of there. Going to melt some solder into the top of that. We do this on my helping hand. Maybe on the floor. Stretch out. So we've got a nice little bit of solder. Nothing special, just needs to be what it is. So we'll see how we go. We need a bit of flux, so we've got plenty of there. So all I'm going to do, get myself comfy, get my angles right. Heat up across here. As I heat up across here, I'm just going to touch the solder on the other side until it starts to melt, because what I want is it all to be warm. You can see it's starting to go in there. Get it a nice run in. Nice bit of solder sitting on top. Let it cool. Don't move it. Do the same on the other side. So again, I'm just going to warm it up. A bit big, it's moving. Let's hold that in my holding hands. Rip it in place and stop it fidgeting around too much. Draw that bit off there that didn't stick very well. rid of that. Now let's have another go. So heat it up. See that solder start to melt. We can fill that gap up. That cool. Have a little look at that in a minute. See what I think. Gone through both sides. Got a nice grip on it. Both bits look pretty good in there. So that looks okay. So we'll have a little quick test of this before I do anything else. So where's my meter, just to make sure it's gone through. I'll switch that round. Some wires out from all my other tools. Lose some of this stuff because I don't need it anymore. So all I really need to test first of all is between here and here. So nothing. So we've got a buzz on that. And then I know that it's going to go from there into there into there. So we've got a fair old bit of a connection going through these. So we're just going to check some of them parts on it just to see what we've got. So if I put pressure on it, we've got power there to that one. If I put pressure on it again, we've got, where are we? Power into that one as well. So that works. That's good. Now let's get this blooming bit back on, see if we can do it again without breaking it. So this one here needs to go into there, so we're just going to clean that up a bit. So where's my helping hands again? I want to remove a bit of solder out of there. Yeah, it's got a hole in there. You need a hole, little hole in there, because if I haven't got a hole, it won't poke down it, will it? So we can twist that round. Hopefully, oh, it's just broke off. Knew it would. So give me more things to think about. Could have just done that in the first place. Make it a damn sight easier. Let's clear that off of there then. Probably have fun soldering that onto there, I bet. So this one's going to go in there, he says. Oops, so we cleaned it up again. So this one has got to go into that hole that's there. So that fits in there nicely. And then this back one's got to line up. This is only a holder in it. Line up with that hole there. So that, oh, that goes in there. So we are all connected up here. So let's, whoop, make a mess. So we need to solder that one there. Oh, I'm pissing my clams again. I need to go on here. We could do with a different point on here, but I'm not going to. That's got that one there. That's cooled nicely. There's another one that's back here. Should have that. There's that soldering iron again. That one's got caught. That one's got caught. Now, the one we've got, which is going to be a pain, is this one here. And this is going to be a pain because that was pressed onto that and not soldered. So I'm going to have a little scrape round underneath it and clean it up. I'll be back in a sec. So I've just had a little clean up in there. So we'll see how this gets on with this. And this is not going to be the easiest, as I say. So we'll clamp that in there again. Hold that in place. What I need to do is warm this all up. Solder ready. And we'll wait to see what happens. So hopefully we can get some solder that's going to stick between these two. See, it's starting to go because it's smoking. There we are. We're just starting to get a bit of melting on the far side of it there. That's got it. Easier than I thought it was going to be. Not the nicest of things, but it should do the job. It's still hot. Certainly got a grip on there. So we've got our circuit board back together. So it's not too bad. That's all on there. So let's give it a little test again then. Make sure it's all working. Meter back onto Buzzy. And then we know now that if we've got a live coming through here, we should have a live down there. Should have live there. Should have live there. If I press a switch from our live there, we should be getting nothing there, a live there, and then we should be a live there. So that has actually worked quite well. It's worked better than I thought it was going to. So we often have problems with these of how they're going to work, but it worked as best as it could. So that is our circuit board repaired. Our circuit board can connect up to the motor and we can go around to putting these back together. This has been quite a long-winded, bitty video for me. I've had to film this for quite some time. It's probably going to be shortened down quite a bit. But, as always, if you like the video, hit that like button. Like button, I think it's down there. Give it a thumbs up. That is a like. I don't know what I'm talking about. And subscribe on it. Part 3 will be coming out once I manage to get back together and test them all up. And we got some new bits to go with it. So, for now, thank you very much and goodbye.